Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me again today. We are going to make like this mini liquor bottle gift box, and it looks like this. It's just the cutest thing ever. The best 99-cent gift that you can like give to anybody, because I mean, everyone's gonna love the box, keep it, buy another bottle and give it to another friend. So this is like kind of the gift that keeps on giving. And just like pop a shot in there. So for this, I decided to use the Celebratory Sips Sweet Collection, and that came out in July, a couple months ago. And this is a really cute one. You know, you have the ribbon here that you get with it, which I used over there. And then you have these holographic resin dots. And I have one right there. They're kind of glow in the darky. And then the Cheers and Sips stamp set, really good line art. You can color it, die cut it out from the designer series paper. You know, it's a really, really good deal. And this is like really all occasion, Christmas, Halloween, you know, birthdays, whatever you want. And then you have all these die cuts here. And I've, you know, torn into my designer series paper a lot. But, you know, we have the die cuts. So I'll cut all this here. And front and back paper there. So like I said, I've been, you know, eating away at this. And then we have this here. I'll get the colors to you in a second. Now that's kind of Christmassy a little bit if you want to go that direction. And then we have flowers, more glasses, Secret C. You can cut a lot out from the you can fussy cut these here, which I've done, but a lot of dies will die cut this image out. And then that'd be like a really cute card. It's a very kind of like bright and bold designer series paper. So the colors in this are, let's see, Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, lots of pinks and purples, Cloud Cover, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. So this one has like all the new in colors in it. Whoa. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. So I'm going to set this aside for a second here, and then we are going to get started on creating our box. Okay, to do that, you are going to need a piece of, this is Secret Sea, 7.5 across, okay, by 5.5. So on this side, you know, the 7-inch side, you know, I'm just gonna bring in the scoreboard, it's easier. The 7.5-inch side. Can you see? Yeah. We want to score that at 1 1/4, which is like right here. And then again at 5 3/4. Flip it over to the 5.5-inch side, and then you want to do 1/2 inch here. And then again at 1 3/4 right there. 3 inches. And then 4 1/4. And you're done. And you know how I am. I don't, you know, do the score lines or anything like that until later. But for kind of like our box earlier this week for the designer series paper, you want to you know, keep everything going around your box all the way like that so it's cohesive. So I know that these right here, they are going to be, I think they're like 4.5 or something. But, you know, watch the pattern that you want to use. So the longest cut I'm going to need is by 4 1/4. So, you know, preserve my paper, I'm going to just cut right at 4 1/4 there. And then I'm going to flip it around And then I need 4 of these, okay? So they're gonna be 1 inch a piece. So 1 inch by 4 1/4. And you want to keep that straight. I'm just gonna line them up. Oh, and you know what? If I'm talking really fast, because I like listened to my video from Tuesday, I am on massive amounts of steroids, so in my house is so clean right now. Got that over there. And then 1 more. So you want to cut 4 of these. And that's going to go all the way across. And then you want, oh, how much do I have left here? Because I need 2 panels of 1 1/2 by 1. And I got 2 inches there. We're going to get back to that in a second. Wait, let me check my thing. Oh, okay. These 2 don't matter. I'm going to do, cut that down to 1 inch, and then cut 2 of 1 1/2. Because that's going to be the flap over. And then I need 1 of a 1 by 1 square. You just want to cut 1 of these because that's going to go on the bottom. And you know what? It gets left over from that little teeny tiny piece of paper there. So we are good to go. Okay, I've got my designer series paper lined up on our box here. Now you have this length of tab here, you see, and then this length. You want to make sure the longer one, let me get a ruler, and I do believe it's like 1 1/4 inch or something like that. 1 3/4. You want that side up towards the top. And you know I do everything backwards, okay? So right now I want to get these panels on. And you definitely want your top and bottom to, you know, good adhesive on that. And you want to center these in your panel there, top to bottom, left to right. And once you get the first one down, you're pretty much good to go. And you can see like how nicely they're going to be put together there. So we have that one down. Let's go for panel number 2. And then I just, you know, keep the left and right in my visual and then pretty much go from like the top to bottom to lay it down. Then we have the 3rd panel here. And yeah, I still got that ugly arm thing going. It's just gonna take a little while for that to, you know, heal up, which is a drag. And that just looks so nice being, you know, lined up like that. And then our 4th panel. We're going to go ahead and get that down. Now, if you see better with the score lines, then by all means, you know, do it the way that it makes it easier for you. This is just, I know it's weird, you know. It works for me. So let's go ahead and get this cut right about now. This is going to be, you know, the tab that we fold over. So we want to take this, just miter that in a little bit on both sides. And then on the right side of the score line, like barely to the right, that is where I want to take it off. Over there. Sometimes you get like that stray little thing and it's a drag, but you know, you have to get it off. I'm going to flip it over, and then on the left side of the score line, I'm going to cut right up there to my miter line. And you know from last time, I'm like a pokey cutter. Okay, so for the long ends up here, I do want to just miter this over in here just a teeny tiny bit, like that much. And then I am going to, again, miter in just a teeny tiny bit up here. And then directly on the left side of the score line, I'm going to cut straight up. Because my miter part is going to be more so on the right side rather than the left side, because I need these flaps to close, because these long flaps here are going to make this. And I want to keep them as straight as possible, so that way I can like corner around the edges down here, because with that box, it was my sample, it kind of got a little bit challenging there for a second. And I didn't want to do that this time around. Okay, so we got that. And then take a 1/2 inch like off right about there. And again, I'm going to cut up on, this time I'm going to do the right side and keep that intact, and then miter in at the left side. It's kind of like an opposite thing. Get that out. Because it's this tab that I want to keep as straight as possible, so I don't have any grief corner rounding it. Okay, this one we cut off, and that's got to go straight. So this one I am going to, let's like go over up here on the left-hand side and cut straight at that. And then miter this in just a little bit, because we already did the other side over there. I'm going to pull that, take, you know, 1/2 inch off of it. And then that is going to be that. So I think before we like hit this side up here, I might like score a little bit and bring in a retired corner punch and really hope for the best, because these are kind of small tabbies. So with this side, I want to go like all the way up over here, and I'm going to line it up and butt it up against that. And then like really, really, really hope for the best. Okay, I'm doing good. And then to do this side, I'm going to, can you see, pull it over here like this, so it butts up against that, push it all the way in, checking, checking, checking. Okay, we are good. And then I am going to do, only one side we have to do this, okay? So I'm going to go back over here, make sure everything's butted up, and then turn it again. Oh, I'm so relieved. Okay, so this is going to go like this and like this. But you know what? I'll punch these when I get around to putting it together finally. So this is what we are looking like so far. Now that we have our designer series paper down here and we cut this side and it worked out, I'm so relieved. For the bottom here, kind of want to do just a teeny tiny bit of the same thing, like a baby miter over here on the left. And then I'm going to cut again right up on the right side of that score line there and go in. And then that's the left side. I'm going to go up on the right side, get that evened out. And then do the same thing all the way up. On both sides. With little teeny tiny miters there, like barely. And then just a smidgen over here. Okay, so that's what we're looking like so far. Okay, so we have like everything in here down here. These two pieces of designer series paper, you cut two of like, it's like 1 by 1.5. And I went ahead and corner around in both of them and then adhered them to those 2 tabs up there. And then I put tear and tape over on this side and just like cut a little bit of excess off. So to get this, you know, and scored everything. So to get this together, pokey tool. Okay, I'm going to peel this off right about now. And then it just folds over perfectly. And that is going to make our box. So right here, you know, I call it the ugly part for the most part. And when I fold everything in back here, I want to make sure it's like still kind of, all the creases are the same, and this is going to be my front side here. So I am going to do this, do that, do this, do that. Okay, all the uglies are in there together. And I know that sounds weird, but you know what? It's just the way it goes. A little bit of glue. Pop that down for a second. A little bit more here. You know, keep your lines good. And then a little bit more right there. And this is where we put like on our little back panel, the 1 by 1. I'm gonna set that down for a second, you know, grab a bone folder. Whoa, sorry about that. Can you guys still see? Okay. And just, you know, poke everything down a little bit. And did that work? Yeah, I think we're looking good. So I'm going to like pop this in here right about now. Okay, in a minute. We have these right here, okay? And you want to take your bone folder and like kind of curl it over like that, because you want that arc in there to where it looks like this for your ribbon. So I'm going to curl it in both ways. Okay, let's see how this goes. Make sure I got the right side up here, and okay, I do. I'm gonna pop it in, close these two, and then just kind of do this a little bit. You know, put it together like that, even it up, and I'm going to grab a clip right here to keep this down, and then hold on for a second, it's gotta be straight. And then that way I can go ahead and thread my ribbon through to tie a bow like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. You can use some over here front Velcro if you want. This time around, I'm not going to do it. Okay, got that. I'm good. I'm going to cut a length here, and you know I'm bad at bows on screen, so I'm going to wing this. And it'll be like very primitive, trust me. I'm gonna tie that right about there. Do a, you know, a cruddy bow for you. and definitely wing this. I had like the worst manicure yesterday. It was horrible. I will make the picture better, okay? I'm going to leave that like about that right about now. And what I've done is I pretty much did the same thing with the sentiment and everything like that. I am going to, you know, the secrecy compared to Blackberry Bliss, which I did last time. I'm going to take this. Okay, yeah, you can see. And get those dimensionals off the back there. And this, you know, it goes great. It's cut just right. I'm going to lay that down. And then I have like all these pieces here I cut from the designer series paper, just to, you know, lay down to accentuate. And these are going to go on pretty much liquid adhesive for the most part. I'm going to tuck them, you know, by our sentiment there. And you don't need much. So we have that. Let's like play with our cherry a little bit. You know, little dots of glue. And that's a good one, like break up that yellow right there. And whoa. We knew that was going to happen. Okay, got that down. And maybe a lemon. Over here, I'm going to tuck that down real quick. And you know what? I think I'm okay. I'm going to grab in like those little dots there. Let's see. Let's do like one right in the middle this time around. And like another small one. Right about there. We got to do one more, you know that. And let's do this. Okay, we're done. See how easy and simple and cute that is. It's just, you know, a great gift thing. 99 cents, okay? And, you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of time. And it'll be used again. So I hope you like this. Next week, I'm going to do, hopefully I'll have my paper pumpkin, you know, kit by then. And we'll do our alternatives. But in the meantime, I've also been working on a mini wine bottle gift box here that I would love to show you too. And then I'm also working up like Thanksgiving placements for Thanksgiving dinner, you know, for the silverware. So that'll be a lot of fun. So I do thank you for joining me today. Please feel free, you know, to like and subscribe, you know, share. And I will see you again on Tuesday for another video. Have a great weekend.